In a town not so different from any other, where the sun rose and set with predictable grace, lived two brothers. They were twins, David and Joan Lee. Their parents had worked tirelessly and left them a considerable inheritance, a legacy of land and property, a gift of security, a foundation to build their lives together. But the weight of this wealth settled on them in very different ways. For David, it was responsibility, family, neighbors, honesty. Joan Lee saw only the glitter of gold. The shared inheritance that should have united them began to tear them apart. Nights found him poring over ledgers, counting every penny. Greed took root and grew into a thorny vine. A darkness gathered on the horizon, a storm of Joan Lee's making, while David remained unaware. David spoke of improving tenants' homes and investing in local businesses. Joan Lee's ambition festered into a terrible resolve. He wanted it all, every last brick, every square foot. He studied the titles and imagined elevation above the common folk. Frustrated by legal ties, Joan Lee sought a darker path whispered about in the town's alleys. He found a practitioner of old forbidden arts. Joan Lee paid for a curse to be laid upon his twin. The cruel magic worked with swift and devastating efficiency. David's investments began to sour. Businesses would suddenly fail. His share of the inheritance dwindled, slipping through his fingers like sand. Soon, he had nothing left. His fine clothes replaced with rags, his home by cold cobblestones. There were days so bleak that he would stand at Joan Lee's back door begging for a crust. David's life on the streets brought him into a new community, a fellowship of the forgotten. They shared stories and scraps of food, the meager warmth of small fires. It was here, in the depths of his own poverty, that David's true character shone. If he managed 2 pieces of bread, he would always seek someone hungrier and share the second piece. He would give away his spot by the fire on the coldest nights. He had nothing, yet he gave everything. He often encountered an elderly man, frail and coughing, whom David made his mission to help. The old man was especially touched by David's unwavering compassion. He shared his last bite after days of hunger and never cursed those who mocked him. A bond formed, forged not in wealth, but in the shared humanity of giving and receiving grace. It was a richness of spirit that no misfortune could take away. Joan Lee feasted on the fruits of his treachery. A grand house, fine clothes, the fastest car. One rainy afternoon, his world came to a screeching halt. The expensive car lost its grip and crashed into an old oak. The sound of twisted metal was the final note in his symphony of greed. The accident left him broken and unable to walk. Completely dependent on others, he lay helpless in his grand home. The news spread like wildfire. Many on the streets muttered it was justice served. But David felt no joy. Without a moment's hesitation, David made his way to the mansion. The servants were surprised to see the ragged man at the door. He cleaned the neglected room, cooked simple broth, and helped Joan Lee eat. Day after day he was there, a constant, gentle presence. Weeks turned into a month. David's steadfast care never wavered. The contrast between his past actions and David's present grace became a weight on his conscience. David did not speak of the past. He simply served.
David, it was me, all of it.
He confessed the jealousy, the greed, the visit to the practitioner of dark arts. A storm of memory, hunger, cold, humiliation, came rushing back. For a moment he wanted to shout and to curse. Then his father's voice returned. Love for your family is the only treasure that can never be stolen.
I forgive you.
He answered hatred with a quiet, unwavering compassion. With Joan Lee incapacitated and fortune mismanaged, the wealth evaporated, bills unpaid, properties seized. They were equals now, not in wealth, but in poverty. David continued to care for Joan Lee, sharing what little they begged for each day. One afternoon, the old man whom David had helped approached them. He looked stronger now. You showed me kindness when no one else would, he said, and offered a small piece of paper. Reluctantly, David accepted. He thought little of it. A few days later, he matched the numbers. It was the grand prize. In an instant, his life transformed. His first act was to ensure Joan Lee received the best care and a modest home for them to share. He used the money to build shelters and a foundation to help those who had fallen on hard times. He sought out the old man who gave him the ticket and made sure he lived in comfort.